ho, we continue with another part of Spirit of Justice. Will this be the last part? Not sure.
I think we have a whole other storyline to uncover because Amara is covering for Garan, and Dirk is covering for Amara. I mean,
And we still don't know the whole story about Apollo's dad.
correct.
So there's still stuff to uncover here. We're lucky the ambulance made it back in time, but we've been forced into a recess for now while things get straightened out. I can't believe what just happened. Tell me about it. Do you think Garan put that guard up to it? If she did, she's going to regret it. No one gets away with something like that on my watch. Poor Queen Amara. Your benevolence? Any news on her condition? She is undergoing surgery at the hospital as we speak. They are giving her a 50-50 chance of survival, though. That Garan! Justice will be served. Why? Why did this happen? Oh, just as we were finally reunited. Oh, Queen Amara. What was that about being reunited? Oh, it's nothing. Right. How are you, Hornhead? Dirk Sanmati was your father in all but blood, after all. Thank you for your concern, your benevolence, but I'm fine. Right now, we still have the trial to get through. So that's what I'm going to stay focused on. Hornhead, you are sturdier than your stature lets on. Just don't overdo it, okay, Apollo? Sure. That was a real shocker, all right. Can't believe the dragon is dead. That's... Say, AJ, I was wondering, when Dirk disappeared after I freed him, that's because Amara turned back into herself, right? Yeah, I suppose so, but I don't know if it was because Dirk's spirit willed it. If it was part of Garan or Amara's plan. Man, our dream of revolution. Now what are we gonna do? Is this it? Don't give up yet. There is a very good chance that Garan is the real culprit in all this. And if we can prove her guilt in court... Hey, you're right. That could be just the push we need. The dream lives on. Yes, it does. You know what that means, AJ? The fate of the revolution rests squarely on your shoulders. Heh. Heh. All in a day's work. Or who am I kidding? That's a ton of pressure. But this is what Dirk gave his life for, so I have to do this for him. The Honorable Rebel Dirk Sanmati. I would have loved to have spoken with him while he yet lived. Really? Why not? I mean, he seemed like quite an interesting man. Did she bump her head or something earlier? The trial is about to resume. The defense is to report to the courtroom at once.
I think you guys have fun.
Already, after what just happened?
Yeah.
The first thing Garan will do is respond to that last accusation. So you better stay on your toes, Apollo. I will, Mr. Wright. Ready or not, Garan, here comes justice. In justice we trust. Now then, let us resume today's proceedings. Huh? Where's Nayuta? I must offer my apologies. I never imagined a royal guardsman would do such a thing. What? He wasn't acting under your orders? How dare you cast such suspicions upon Her Eminence? It is quite all right, Your Majesty. Suspicion is only natural under such circumstances. But rest assured that he acted alone, for I knew nothing of his plans. I don't believe that for a second. Now then, Your Majesty, regarding the murder of my husband, Minister Inga, I would like to offer a new possibility. A new possibility, you say? Indeed, for during the break, the real killer confessed to me. Bailiff, call the witness to the stand. I think I know who it is. The real killer confessed. What she got up her sleeve this time? I have a really bad feeling about this. I know who it is. Somebody white? Yep. He's the one who confessed? Prosecutor Sanmadhi, you're the real killer? I questioned him during the recess, as I felt that Amara had been covering for someone. So it was that he finally confessed to me. Now, Yuta, you didn't really do it, did you?
Sad Monk, did you do this?
If only Blackwell were here. Sad Monk did it. Her Eminence speaks the truth. It was I who killed Justice Minister Inga. Nayuda! That and, like... Can you imagine if it was just he confessed and the trial was over? Are you absolutely certain about this? A confession of this nature is grave indeed. Yes, I am certain, for I killed him by my own hand. At last, the real killer has been revealed. How are we supposed to respond to this? Nayuda, retract your confession now. Mr. Justice, it is not yet time for your cross-examination. Who cares about that? Admit it! It was Queen Garan who put you up to this. She forced you into giving a confession, didn't she? You were out of line, Mr. Justice. Learn some self-restraint. But you have something that might prove that I did not commit this murder? That is... what do you think you're doing, you idiot? Surely the truth can set us free. Looks like Garan got to him somehow. I definitely didn't see this coming. Nayuda, why are you doing this? Why would you sacrifice even your life to do Garan's bidding? Whatever the case may be, Prosecutor Sanmadhi, your testimony, please. I cannot remain silent while Her Eminence fell under suspicion for this crime. It was I who murdered Justice Minister Inga. He had to die for the future of Khura'in. I consider it divine judgment cast upon a fiend who sought to assassinate our monarch. My mother was simply covering for me. I am ashamed I let her go so far for my sake. You do understand what you're doing, right, Nayuda? You're sentencing yourself to death if you're found guilty. If that is the court's verdict, then so be it. I must obey the law above all else. The law, Nayuda, or the truth? Enough. This blather has nothing to do with the witness's testimony. Please address any issues you may have during the cross-examination defense. Oh, I will. I'm going to blow his problematic testimony to smithereens.
Hold it!
You kept quiet all this time, even though you were the real killer. Yes, and I accept that what I have done can never be forgiven. But I never imagined suspicion would fall upon the Queen herself. Prosecutor Sanmadhi has placed the future of our kingdom above his own life. He is taking responsibility for his crime and is showing his loyalty to Queen and country. Without a monarch on the throne, Khura'in would be plunged into chaos. I could never wish that upon my homeland. That is why I had to let the truth be known. What a bunch of baloney. I'm going to ask you again, Nayuda, did you really kill Minister Inga? Yes, no matter how many times you ask, Mr. Justice, the truth is immutable.
Hold it!
It's not too late. You can still retract your confession before the verdict is rendered. There is no retracting the truth. One either tells it or does not tell it. It is that simple. Why do you always have to be so stubborn, Ayuda? I hate how you never listen to reason once you get like this. I think we'll need some evidence before we can get him to retract his confession. Either that or we'll have to force a retraction out of him by appealing to what's in his heart. It's not going to be easy either way. Prosecutor Sanmahi, what was the motive for your crime? I had reason enough to kill Minister Inga.
Hold it!
What do you mean by that? Mr. Inga was planning to assassinate Her Eminence in a coup d'etat. I had to nip this evil in the bud, even if it cost me the purity of my soul. So you're saying the death of another is a reasonable price to pay to protect the Queen? Long have we remained independent under the authority of our spirit medium queens. We command the people's awe and respect with the power to commune with the dead. Without such a monarch, our kingdom would lose its standing in the world. But if spirit channeling is so important, why did you have Queen Amara perform the rite? I'm afraid my elder sister is quite capricious. She would fulfill her duty only when the desire struck, as sporadic as that was. It was therefore something she did on a whim. There was no meaning behind it. The meaningless whim? It's hard to press a statement like that. Now, if I may return to my testimony, I consider it divine judgment.
Hold it!
Yes, I rendered judgment upon the minister on behalf of the Holy Mother. Are you saying the Holy Mother guided you? No, Her Holiness would never condone killing in her name, regardless of circumstances. As such, I believe my defiled soul will be damned to hell. But I do not regret what I have done. I willingly sacrificed my soul to protect this kingdom's future. Snap out of it already, Nayuda. So his motive comes from a place of faith, huh? Why does that sound completely credible when it's coming from him? Well, Amara expressed a similar motive. As for her mercifulness, she is truly deserving of her title.
Hold it!
So you killed Minister Inga, and Queen Amara staged the crime. Is that how it went? Precisely. My mother is as clever as she is kind. She sought to conceal my crime by taking all of the guilt upon herself. Yet another lie. I need to poke a hole in this testimony, but how? Nayuda, could it be you didn't know Naina's real identity, told Amara what to do? You didn't realize that Naina was actually Queen Amara, your own mother? That is not as strange as you might think. Much time had passed since we last met, after all. Right, 23 years ago, was it? Dirk saved her after the supposed assassination attempt. No, Mr. Justice. It was 15 years ago that Dirk abducted my mother. Huh? That's weird. Are you sure about that? I remember it clearly. I was around 10 years old at the time. Now, Yuda, please add that last statement to your testimony. So, the picture we have of them, though, was from 23 years ago. Okay?
Is that Linda?
Well, that's not necessarily him, but it would make sense, though, to say that, well, you were 10, then how could this have happened 23 years ago?
Objection!
You're saying that Dirk made off with Queen Amara 15 years ago. But that's strange, because I heard something very different from Dirk. He said they ran off together 23 years ago. That is impossible. I know for a fact it was 15 years ago. Well, I have evidence that contradicts your statement. How do you explain this photo? Dirk said it was taken 23 years ago. He said that. He did, but if we take what you just said as fact, then there's something in this photo that doesn't make any sense. This isn't making any sense to me, so I suppose I should ask. And it would be the kid.
The kid?
Yeah. Because then he would be 15, And so if it's not Nayuta, we're going to find something
Take
else.
that!
Nayuta, this discrepancy may not be directly related to this case, but I don't think we can simply overlook it either. Dirk said the baby in the photo was you, but that doesn't make any sense if the photo's only 15 years old. After all, you said you were around 10 then, right? He's definitely sweating bullets over there, over something. Apollo, if this baby isn't Nayuta, wait, you don't think, and then it would be Rafa, because that means that that would be the right age. 15, and then she's 14.
You should explain why she has the power and her mother doesn't.
Yes. Because she's trying to say, oh, she channeled for a meaningless whim, but your theory has long been that she can't.
I think so.
Yeah. In fact, I feel like before the case even began, you were saying you thought maybe the Queen was a...
You let a kid perform that. Her mom's only like in her 40s,
Yeah.
so there's no reason that her mom can't do it, and her sister did it before. So...
Just what if that child were being held hostage? Nayuta, is that why you obey Queen Garant's every command? You presume too much. That's why Queen Amara was trying to take the rap as well, to protect this other child. A child born 15 years ago. That would have to be someone who's around 14 or 15 years old now. This is just a guess, but I believe I know someone who fits the bill. This also explains the strange behavior. This is the child who was born then. All those strange statements she kept making. Now they all make sense. Prosecutor Samani, may I ask you something? Now I see, Nayuta, why you do what you're told. The other child born to Dirk and Queen Amara, Mr. Justice. Queen Amara was, hold it, Mr. Justice. I believe I know what you were about to say, but I cannot allow you to name an innocent soul as the child of terrible sinners. I thought you might try to stop me. After all, simply revealing this information endangers who you've been trying to protect. I think this should make it clear what I'm talking about. This is the chink in your armor, the reason why you fear for your sibling's reputation. This should make it clear what I'm talking about. I wonder if this is it.
At least it's spelled from the royal family.
Well, from the royal family and the sins of the father visit upon his children.
Take that!
That is a file full of information that Dirk collected on what happened 23 years ago. Of particular note right now is what's written here. The sins of the father are visited upon his children. This deeply held idea is why you were expelled from the royal family. Which means it wouldn't bode well for your sibling either, if she were revealed to be Dirk's daughter. You became a prosecutor to bring down Queen Garan, but at some point you came to serve the very regime you despised, and that was because the Queen found this chink in your armor. That's how she came to use your sister against you. Now, Yuta, have you been keeping this secret all this time? Have you been trying to protect me? You are an innocent party to all this. I live only to safeguard the law and serve the country and queen from which it flows. One such as you who is destined to ascend to the throne need not fret over one such as I. No, I cannot accept that. What you say, it's malarkey. Don't you even care what happens to you? Before country, queen, law, and everyone's future, my personal feelings are of no consequence. That is why I resigned myself to my fate. I know I must accept the status quo without any thoughts of change. Spoken like a true prosecutor and patriot. I shall continue to rule Khura'in until the day Rafa succeeds me. For that is what is best for our kingdom. I know, Your Eminence. Yours is no small sacrifice. But I promise you this, in exchange for your life, the child shall remain safe, and the kingdom shall prosper. That is all I can ask for with my meager existence. Now, Yuta, is this really the new you? Resigning yourself to the will of another and killing any hope you held for the future? No. The Yuta I knew would never let himself be turned into this. Now, Your Majesty, if you would hand down your verdict...
Objection!
You can say you're simply accepting your fate, Yuta, but I know that deep down there is still hope in your heart. Oh, Holy Mother, preserve me. It's the kind of hope that perseveres through the most desperate of times, and it's what binds you, me, and Dirk together as a family. I know because this has demonstrated to me that you haven't lost all hope yet.
We can take that away.
That's right.
Take that!
When you interrogated Dirk, you confiscated all of his possessions as potential evidence, all except this. So tell me, Nayuta, why didn't you take his badge? You couldn't bear to take it from him, could you? And I know why. It's because this badge means something special to us. You may say you've given up, but that's not how it really is it? You never gave up and you never will, because you still believe that all the wrongs will be righted someday, don't you? You are very perceptive, Mr. Justice. It may very well be as you say. Why did I not confiscate this badge, even if I did not know, until now? Perhaps I was waiting for him to save me. Save you? Yes, save me, like he did on that day. What father wouldn't risk his life to save his own children? Someday, he would come and free our family from the chains of the past. Perhaps deep down, that is what I believed. I believed in Dirk, our father. Yudo, I knew you. However, it was but a dream. And now that dream has died. Murdered along with Dirk. So now, as the eldest, the responsibility falls squarely onto me. No matter the cost, I must protect her. Please try to understand, Apollo. Understand why I shall bear all this sin. It is the only way.
Such insolence!
You have wasted more than enough of my time, lawyer. Do you not see the futility of your desperate floundering, the immutability of his duty? It is time to accept defeat. Now, watch as the hammer of justice comes down upon your dear brother. Your Majesty, the verdict, if you will. Yes, Your Eminence. Wait a second. What do I do? Does the defense wish to raise an objection? There's gotta be some way to save Yuda. Apollo, it all goes back to that incident 23 years ago. It's branded him the son of a criminal. So if we could once and for all prove that Dirk didn't try to assassinate Amara. Right, Yuda and Rafa's father would no longer be viewed as a criminal. But I thought there wasn't any evidence left, because it was all destroyed in the fire. And Dirk investigated the matter for years, but never managed to learn anything new. Really, nothing at all? Could an exceptional lawyer like Dirk try that long and really uncover nothing at all? He had over 2 decades, Apollo. Huh? He's right. I doubt Dirk would have gone to his grave without discovering something new. He must have secretly planted something to topple Garan with somewhere. Take another look at the evidence. You might just find what you need. If the defense is done stalling for time, I shall now render my verdict. No, wait. About the assassination attempt 23 years ago. The defense has some new information it would like to share. You do? Well, we had intended to deliberate that case in the course of this trial. Dirk, did you leave something behind for me? Is there some connection I'm missing here? Very well, then. What is the source of your new information about the case from 23 years ago? The one with him playing a guitar? Why do you think that?
Except for what my dad looked like, but he's never been found since the fire, so maybe there's nothing. I've never seen it.
You try to process of elimination. I know, that's why I keep telling you not to sit in the chair when we do this. Yeah, well, I don't, because then you're like, I need to go to bed. Let's try it.
Take that!
A photograph. Yes, do you recall the traveling musician who died in that fire 23 years ago? How could anyone forget such a painful chapter in our history? The The poor fellow was caught up in the blaze that was meant for Queen Amara. We never knew his identity, though, as his belongings were burnt to ashes. Well, about that, the truth is, he was my biological father. Oh? What?
Even now.
Why, of course, with his photo and her benevolence. Exactly. We might be able to prove Dirk completely innocent. And that would free her from the infamy of having criminal blood in her veins. Because here in Khura'in, we can witness the final memories of the dead. What utter nonsense. Oh! Finally performed that seance. There was no evidence left in the wake of that blaze. That's what you think. But Dirk went to the ends of the earth to bring this little souvenir back for us. Did? Yep, and boys, the best piece of evidence ever. Because we know his name through that thing.
Ew, his name was in
Jove Justice. He knew that with it we'd finally be able to conclusively settle the matter here in court. And save his children. Your Majesty, the defense requests that we hold a divination seance for this new victim. What a waste of time. The events of 23 years ago past have already been deliberated at length.
Objection!
Wasn't Dirk on trial for that incident as well today? So we wouldn't be doing our jobs if we failed to look into this new lead, would we? Ugh. As the presiding judge, I will now share my thoughts on the matter. The attempted assassination of Queen Amara is a case we can ill afford to leave open, and I believe that the final memories of the victim will prove to be very important. Therefore, it is the opinion of this court that we should conduct another divination seance. Why, your benevolence. If you knew the full name of the victim seen in this photo, you'd be able to perform a divination seance, right? Of course, leave it to me. And I say we pick it up with the next divination seance next time we play. Not long. Yeah, well, I'm sorry you're 32 minutes. Psh, you are a poophead.
Do you want me to keep playing?
No. If you're struggling to stay up, let's... Because this is interesting stuff, so let's be fully awake for
So
it.
should I lay down for like 45 minutes and then get back up?
Do what you need to. And if it's 45 minutes or if it's longer, the game will still be here. Okay?
I feel good